Hello and welcome to Retech, and this is just a very quick video. It's basically because I've changed my mind on the coloring of this machine. This is the Amiga 500, the recreated one, the emulated one, which you've seen before, which was black, and the biggest reason for that is because we've got this now, which is a recreated USB mouse. I mean, I can use normal Amiga mice on here because I've got the 9-pin DIN sockets on here which work correctly, but this came out and I thought, well, why not change the case to match? Because at the end of the day, you know, they've brought out the Mini and it's a recreated machine of one of these anyway, so I've decided to, you know, just take it back to as close as to its original color as possible, which is what I did. And here's a quick overview of how I did it. Okay, so today we're going to change this Amiga up a little bit. As you may not noticed, I did get a few extra parts with my Mini Amiga 500. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to experiment with this case and to see if we can get it to look like something a Maxi or a full-sized version Amiga 500 should look like. And it's just a bit of fun. It's just to basically find out if, you know, one of these using the same type of processor, the same type of operating system and everything can look like a Amiga 500 that retro games may or may not make in the future. So let's have a quick look and see what it's all about and how it turns out. So the first thing we have to do is take it apart, and it's just the standard case screws that are in it, so it shouldn't take too long to whip this apart. Okay, so it's just literally unplugging the keyboard, removing that, and then just removing the small boards, and they're all should just peel off because I used double-sided tape to actually hold them on. So we're just going to take the boards off. Okay, so the next part is just sanding down the old colour off the case itself, and just take your time on this one. Make sure that it's roughened the surface up, ready for the new paint. It's a plastic based paint, so it should stay on quite well, and again, it's not a model that's going to be kind of extensively used, but you know, it'd be nice to keep it reasonably nice looking or reasonably nice condition. And again, just take your time and don't rush these things. And now it's just getting ready for paint, and here we go. We're just going to use our usual treatment that we used before. It's kind of an off-whitish colour. It's fairly close. It's not 100% match, but it's close enough, especially going over a darker colour. And it's just to bring the machine back to kind of a condition where it looks like an Amiga 500. And here we go, light coats, just take your time. And this is almost a finished object. It's just having its final touch in, and it just needs to dry and harden off before it can be put together. So yeah, this is what the case will look like when it's all done and dusted. And as you can see by that, it was quite an easy fix. It was quite an easy way around of actually redoing the paintwork on this, basically just to make it match. And the next thing to do is to retro bright the keys. These are tough enough to withstand being retro brighted, so that'll be my next job. In fact, I've got two sets to do, because I've got to set this set and this set off my other sort of cleaned up Amiga 500, which we saw a video about not long ago. But because this has been running fine and it looks like roughly like an Amiga should look now, I've been using it quite a lot, and I've been using this predominantly instead of the Mini. You see, I did think about putting the Mini inside of this, but I like the way this can boot straight to Workbench and be used, and it's all done, and I've had it for 2 years and it's the way I want it. So, you know, but it's kind of reinvigorated things, so I'm actually using it as I did an original Amiga, because, you know, you just plug it into a HDMI TV or monitor or whatever you want to plug it into, and off you go and use it, which is brilliant. And you know what, these joysticks, which came with the C64 Mini, or one of my C64 Minis, is fantastic. It's not the later one from the larger machine, or the Maxi, or the C64 Maxi. It's the non-micro switch joystick, which is fine. It works fine with this, and it plays the part, and it's quite nice using kind of a retro-ish style modern recreation of a joystick with a retro style modern recreation of an Amiga 500. So this is it. It's brilliant, and it works really well. Now this is more of a quick kind of video about what I've been up to kind of in the last few days, but it's not just that. If you have a listen to this, now a lot of you will recognize this tune out of the Shadow of the Beast 3, and it must have sat in the background of my kind of head for a while, and I didn't really pay much attention to it until I started kind of just having a bit of a play on it again. And then I realized this is one of my favorite tunes that is on a album that was done by RCM, the Retro Computer Museum in Leicester. It was done as a charity album, and this is what it sounds like. And now, as you can hear, it's very close, isn't it? It's this tune just recreated, and it's got a bit of a singer over the top. It got me thinking that there's a lot of music out there which has been redone from classic tunes that you find on arcade games or vintage computer games and so on, which is fantastic. And it was quite nice because I have been listening to the tune, the one you've heard with the singer over the top, the actual live version rather than the Amiga version, and it's one of my favorite kind of tunes just to chill out to and listen to. So with that, I'm going to say, if you like this sort of music or recreating kind of vintage and classic music, or also doing new versions of music that's kind of centered around classic micros, then pop along to RCM and see if they've got any left, because I'm sure they've got a few left which goes towards their charity to keep the place running. So yeah, it was a bit of a surprise because I'd actually forgotten about this, and it must have stayed in my head for a while, and I must have been thinking, no, I like this tune, I wonder why, and now I know why. So this is what I've been up to in the last week. But there's a few things that's going to come out shortly, a few videos, and one's concerning what do we really class as retro? And not just these machines, it's all the kind of peripherals and paraphernalia that go along with them. And that's going to be one of my next videos. And it got me thinking. I went down to a motor racing event, and there was a TV studio there, and they were filming it. But they weren't filming it with the kit that you would expect them to film with, you know, the 21st century modern, up-to-date 8K cameras and all this kind of thing. No, they were using 1080i interlaced cameras, and this was for, you know, commercial production. This was going live on the TV and so on. And it got me thinking as to, do we really need all of the latest models of everything, and does some of the retro kit suffice? So this is what I'm going to cover hopefully in my next video or so. But another planned video is trying to recreate a USB adapter for the Atari ST. I've done one in the past, but it was a commercially available adapter, and now I want to see if I can do that myself, so that will be coming along shortly. But as I said, this is all about just a quick overview of what I've done, and this recreated Amiga has been a lot of fun over the last week or so, and that's really generally because of the A500 Mini, because it's kind of reignited my thing for recreating these machines. So there's just a quick overview. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon, and I hope you look forward to my next video. So thanks, and I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. So don't forget, if you want the instrumental version of this, the actual physically live instrument version of this, then pop along to RCM's website and see if you can get hold of one of their charity albums, because it's got a lot of other tracks on. I think it's a 3 CD edition. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon. See you. Bye bye.